Coming up on this week's headlines.
Welcome to In Case You Missed It. My name's Jermaine, that's Anthony, and the Thunderbolts premiered this weekend, and we finally get an answer about what that asterisk actually stands for. And also, we actually know how Taskmaster is going to be super important for Avengers Doomsday. Okay, one of those might be a lie. But before we get to the Thunderbolts, let's look at all the nerdy news and headlines you might have missed throughout the week.
Jeremy Renner recently said in an interview that Marvel wanted to do a Hawkeye season 2, but they were only willing to pay the star half the pay from the first season. Hey Disney, can you please stop doing all these live action remakes and give our boy the money he's deserved? Snow White. Hawkeye was one of the best Marvel Disney Plus shows to come out. And I mean, it wasn't Loki or WandaVision, but it was just fun. And who doesn't want more Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop? Wait a minute. Was she getting most of the money and he had to take a pay cut? Look, I don't care about the money either way, but can we please just get a second season? Like, maybe have, Hawkeye join Daredevil's army or something, or like, I don't know, maybe replace Iron Fist with an Avenger or something? Just a thought.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't trailer just dropped, and it's confirmed that Isla Fisher is returning as her character Henley Reeves. Isla Fisher was a part of the main 4 horsemen in the first movie, but because she almost herself during one of the stunts, she refused to come back to the second film. So the studio had her character replaced entirely by Lizzie Kaplan as Lula May. And while it is great that they were able to hash out their differences and for her to come back, that's not the biggest story surrounding this film. The studio launched a billboard in Times Square with a number on it, and fans who called or texted that number and registered actually got $119 in their Venmo account when the trailer officially dropped. And while this is great, why Times Square? Every time something cool happens, it's either in New York, California, Vegas. What about us other small states? Wyoming, Nebraska, Idaho, I don't know, South Dakota.
Yo, just admit you're jealous so we can move on.
Okay, I'm jealous.
Were you in high school when GTA 5 came out? Well, congratulations, now you're in your 30s with a family.
You're in your 30s with a family.
And when GTA 6 was announced, you finally got a glimmer of hope that you would be able to dive into the next installation of the game that took over your childhood. Well guys, looks like we're going to be waiting just a little bit longer, because Rockstar just announced they're delaying the release of Grand Theft Auto 6 until May of 2026. Now, at this point, this has to be like a running joke, right, at the studio. Like, hey, let's announce our date and then postpone it and then watch everyone lose their minds. Or, hey guys, let's see how many studios we can make delay their games inspecting our release. There is no reason, zero reason why a game should take this long to make. Like, even if there is a reason for it, like, one must ask, is it even worth it at this point? So here's the thing. The game is gonna come out, it's gonna make a ridiculous amount of money, right? And then next year, they're gonna come out and say, oh, hey guys, we're working on GTA 7. But by the time that comes out, we're all gonna be too old, too crippled, and blind to play that game or to even pick up a controller.
Spoiler alert from the Thunderbolts here on out. If you haven't seen it, stop the video, go see it, then come back. If you have seen it, then welcome. But if you haven't seen it and just want us to get on with it, you're dangerous. I like you. When the Thunderbolts title was first announced, a lot of people thought, was this team gonna be named after the MCU president, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross? But after seeing the movie, we now know the Thunderbolts name came from Yelena's soccer team when she was a kid. Literally horrible, winning a whopping 0 games. And through the movie, it was kind of a running gag until they all embraced it. However, to save her own butt, Valentina announced the group of misfits as the new Avengers to the press. So the real question is, how are we feeling about the new Avengers? How is it gonna conflict with Sam Wilson's Avengers? And how is this gonna play into Avengers Doomsday? All right, so let's just get the end out the way first. The new Avengers, how you feeling about it? Where's your head? Do you think that this group warrants the name of the new Avengers?
I like it better as New Avengers than I do as Thunderbolts. I thought that using the Thunderbolts title for this group was kind of wasting the title, if I'm being honest with you. So transitioning it over to a New Avengers and it actually sets it up to be kind of an interesting thing, like a conflict with Sam Wilson too. So I mean that could be good also moving forward.
Yeah, we've talked about how there's always been several iterations of the Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the New Avengers, the Young Avengers, the Dark Avengers. I think I would have preferred the Dark Avengers. But I do like this. I like this faction that's being set up. We have the OG Avengers, which are the original 6, and now we have Sam Wilson's Avengers. Now we have the new Avengers. Maybe somewhere along the line, we can get the younger one. I don't know. That's probably off the table. But yeah, no,
maybe they could maybe the different versions of Avengers, that'd be like a TV show thing as opposed to getting a movie title or something like that. I think that calling the movie the Thunderbolts and getting the name out there to like MCU fans and movie going fans and stuff like that was probably a good thing. And hopefully people that went to see the movie stayed to see both post-credit scenes so that they could see the whole Thunderbolts thing.
We're gonna get to what the actual post-credit scene was about.
Right.
But all right, let's do a little speculation. We know who's gonna be in the New Avengers, which is the Thunderbolts, which is gonna include Bucky, Yelena, Red Guardian, John Walker, maybe Bob, and Ghost. So Bob
is the team at that point.
So we know that this is the New Avengers. Who do we think who's on Sam Wilson's team? I am in so I got Sam Wilson, the new Falcon, Thor, Shang-Chi. It's criminal how we haven't had him a lot. Ant-Man. I would like Spider-Man, but
that'd be a nice addition.
Yeah, I would like Spider-Man. I don't think he's going to be in Doomsday though. So let's just say, for the sake of the argument, Clint. I think they can. This is something that they can bring.
Yeah. Some of these underutilized characters in, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. My big question is I'm kind of confused or kind of curious rather, is if Doomsday is going to follow like one of the Secret Wars storylines or something like that, like teams going up against Doom, like is it going to follow one of those things? Because that drew, and that makes a lot of sense for some of the old characters returning to their roles. So that actually makes a lot of sense if they were drawing from that many different groups of heroes to come back, and make an appearance in this.
I believe either Kevin Feige or the Russo brothers said that different teams are going to go up against Doom. So I'm thinking maybe Fantastic Four, X-Men, and then, the new Avengers, and then Sam Wilson's Avengers. I think all these different teams are going to, kind of like Infinity War. Mm-hmm. How it was just all these teams trying to take down Thanos, but if they would have worked together, they could have done it.
More effective.
Yeah, so I think Doom's going to be picking off these teams like one by one. Mm-hmm. And then that's when...
I mean, honestly, as far as like Sam Wilson's, it can be anybody at this point, but the bottom line is them introducing Bob there is probably the most interesting thing to me at this point. So, I mean, even if like I understand that the new Avengers don't have anybody that's, overly powerful, but all it takes is one Bob, just one Bob. Get one Bob on the new Avengers team, and that team is OP as it is. Right. You know what I mean?
Odin Force Thor versus Sentry. Who you got?
Oh my God! Sentry Dog walks Odin Force Thor. I don't care. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Now that's kind of going into that gets a little bit into the weeds there as far as discussions goes, because like we was talking about before, and I understand MCU is way different than comics and stuff like that, but comic book Sentry was incredibly powerful. Comic book Sentry did not have an issue with taking down Thor, Ares, and Hercules.
To be fair, and you even said it, like they've nerfed Thor so much from
Well,
Ragnarok, but it doesn't take that much to bring him back to that level that he was.
And they could. They really could. But I don't see even Odin Force Thor being powerful enough to take on Sentry. Especially if they're using they're basing the characters off of Ultimate Universe. Even Ultimate Universe Thor, I don't think is powerful enough with Odin Force to take down Sentry. The one thing though is that I don't. They made Sentry powerful in this, but they didn't show him to be all powerful because the people that fought against him were just human beings. They're super.
I was very against this, and I did say what would kill my enjoyment of this movie is if they went into him and have Sentry like, oh hey, this is my he basically beat himself. I wasn't with that. I wasn't a fan of it going into the movie, but the movie set up everything so perfectly about mental health, the struggles of self. I actually wasn't mad about it because he had a difficult life and he was in a dark place. So, and then how they executed that throughout the entire movie, I was okay with it. So, I have a question. Mm-hmm. So it was like, so where the end credit scene took off, it was 14 months after they were branded the New Avengers. Mm-hmm. Why did they all have blowouts? Can we talk? Like, did the New Avengers versus the original Avengers, they have blowouts? So they all have great hair?
There was a window open on the 5th floor or something like that, and everybody walked through it. And yeah.
John Walker has a beret. Bucky has the most beautiful blowout that I have ever seen.
Can we just talk about how much, the Red Guardian just carried a lot of that?
Oh,
his energy every time he was on camera was just so good. I honestly, he carried a lot of the comedic parts of that movie for me.
You said something after the movie, and it really made me think, how MCU cast people who are meant for that role. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. 100%. You gotta add David Harbour in it.
Oh, 100%. He is Red Guardian. They could cast him. They could change somebody. They could do whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll see him in the next 10 movies if he makes 10 more movies. And it's like, look at that. That's Red Guardian there. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's talk about what the post-credit scene was really about.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four. There's a call from space. There's a ship coming. We see Fantastic Four there.
Man.
First thoughts.
Okay. So my first thoughts are they lose. Right? They lose.
That's my first thought. I was right.
It is.
I was like yeah.
Which doesn't really help me out any because I'm more concerned with this Fantastic Four movie coming out than I was with the Thunderbolts, whether or not the Thunderbolts would be good. I had no real expectations for Thunderbolts, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised. This Fantastic Four movie, so going back to the casting and stuff like that, I don't see Mr. Fantastic when I see that I don't see that at all. And then I don't see Johnny Storm in their casting choice for Johnny Storm.
And here's the thing. You might not see it because you see Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. You see the actor,
great Johnny Storm, even though the movie was trash.
You see the actor who played Richards, even though I don't really like any iteration. I did like John Krasinski. I don't know why people turned on him.
You mean Jim? Yeah. John? No, that's Jim. Okay, I'm sorry, Jim Halper. The Office. Oh, what you want from me? I'm old. Okay, I'm old.
I did like that, even though we didn't really give him his due.
But he embodied that character for me. So I understand the movie doesn't owe me anything, but they're really gonna have to make this one a good one for me to look at those characters and be like, okay, I could see it.
I think Robert Quinn can make Johnny Storm work. My biggest issue is Pedro Pascal. He's in everything, and don't get me wrong, he's been great in everything. Mandalorian, Joel, and The Last of Us.
Yeah, he's not been bad, not at all.
I'm curious of how they're gonna make him. I don't think that he can't do it. I'm just a little trepidatious of how he's gonna portray the character because we've gotten great trailers, but no real character beats. The only character that has shined
The Thing?
in the trailer is like the Thing, but I would say Sue Storm. I
Okay,
think she's going to be carrying the movie and carrying Franklin Richards at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that she's going to be more the focal point, which I don't think is bad, because even though Reed is the smartest man in the world, universe, whatever, he messes up a lot. Like,
Yeah, but he also does good things too.
yeah, no, he does, but you know,
But yeah, he does mess up
So-
quite a lot. Yeah.
that's the only thing. So my first thought when I saw the ship was I was right, because I was like, oh, the universe is gonna get completely wiped out.
Oh, it's gonna get clapped. Since they showed that shadow of Galactus there. I mean, yeah, there's not too much that's taken on a Celestial like that, especially on Galactus, somebody like that. But especially, I mean, the other thing too, right? So they're doing this, they're introducing that Galactus in that universe at a time when Franklin Richards isn't old enough to even use powers or anything like that. So that really, really, really does not help their chances. You know, if he would have waited maybe, I don't know, a decade or so, let Franklin develop his powers, let MCU decide whether or not he's a mutant in this, maybe they had a shot. But, oh yeah, they get 100% clapped with the Galactus type character. You know.
All right. Overall, how'd you like the movie? I gave it a 4.5 on the 90-second review. Check that out right here.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm taking the kids and the wife to see it again tomorrow. I thought it was really good. It was just it was fun. You know, it tackled some tough things, you know, at times, but overall it was just a good movie. It was fun.
And I didn't have time, obviously, 90-second review, you don't have time. I didn't have time to say this, but one thing I loved about this film, as opposed to like a Thor Love and Thunder, is because the humor wasn't beating you over the head. Like Thor Love and Thunder is like, laugh. I told you to laugh. But this was just something that I would say, it's like, no, it's subtly hilarious.
It had Red Guardian in it. Yes. I'm telling you, he carried the movie. Man. It was so funny in that. He was so good. He was just I understand dark tones, but even like his straight up conversations, you know, with Yelena, it was just like, even her, she's like, well, that was good. Yeah. No, it was just good. You know, it was funny.
To be fair, there's at the end that speech, emotions ran.
Oh yeah, I did. You did tear up a little bit, didn't you? He was like, "No, I got something in my eye. It's allergies," but I know the truth.
This has been InCase You Missed It for the week of April 28th.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.
All that other YouTube stuff, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe for more headlines throughout the week, games, and 60-second reviews.